Tottenham signing new forward for £65 million. Everyone has been asking, why don't you talk about Tottenham on this channel? Now, if you don't already know, Henry Wright TV is the Tottenham channel. Get over there and subscribe to that. But we're going to talk about Tottenham today on here, Henry Talks Football. We are pushing 20,000 subscribers. We're only 300 away now from 17,000. So if you're new to the channel, please do go down and hit that subscribe button. Now, it's going to be I'm very interested to see a lot of the response because there's a lot of Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea fans who subscribe to this channel. But Tottenham, if they pull this off, I will be absolutely gassed. Now, Fabrizio Romano come out last night and linked Tottenham with an exclusive report to Dominic Solanke. Now, the Tottenham fan base in general is always at each other's throat. Some people are coming out saying, well, hang on, he scored 19 league goals last season, and Tottenham will create a lot more chances than Bournemouth. Other people coming out saying, well, hang on, Tottenham need better, we need more. And then Alistair Gold, who you don't know who that is, if you don't know who that is, sorry, is a very reliable Tottenham journalist. He's like the Fabrizio Romano in the Tottenham world. If he tells you to break up with your missus or your boyfriend or your partner, you do so because he's got some inside information. That's how reliable Ali Gold is. And he has come out and said Tottenham are also looking at Victor Gyökeres. Now, if we sign Victor Gyökeres, I think it's extremely unlikely because Arsenal and Liverpool are looking at him, and Arsenal probably the favourites to sign him. If we sign Victor Gyökeres, I will be absolutely gassed. Now, exclusive coming out from Fabrizio Romano, Tottenham explore move for Dominic Solanke. He's among the targets for Spurs. Difficult deal as he's a key player for Bournemouth. No formal bid to Bournemouth so far. Spurs exploring options to bring a new striker and potentially new winger based on opportunities. Ange Postecoglou has come out in the last few hours. Obviously, the Tottenham team are in Korea. We play Bayern Munich tomorrow. And he's basically come out and said he's confirmed that Tottenham are focusing on a new striker this month, one that fits a specific mould. Now, what that specific mould is yet, who knows? Could be an out-and-out number 9 in a target man, could be a false 9, could be a link-up player, could be a wide player yet. We are heavily linked with Pedro Neto as well, and the Spurs fan base now are alluding to the fact that our two big signings this summer could be Dominic Solanke and Pedro Neto. Now, I'm a big fan of Pedro Neto. I'll start off with him. I think he's a very, very tricky winger, great in the 1v1s. He's a very creative player who got, 11 assists last season, but he only played 20 league games and does have injury concerns. This was while I was heavily against the signing of Federico Chiesa. Brilliant player on the ball, but does have huge, huge injury concerns. I personally believe overall, Pedro Neto would be a good signing for Tottenham. We are in 4 competitions. We're in the Europa League. There's a different format to European competitions this season, with both the Europa League and Conference League being more of a league format with 8 games in each group. Now, obviously, Dominic Solanke is an interesting one. 19 league goals last season. An absolute electric goal-scoring player, but only ever had 1 season at performing at that level. We are also linked with Jonathan David and Victor Gyökeres. Now, everyone knows how good Victor Gyökeres is. Jonathan David has had 3 seasons in a row getting double digits for goals. And he was very, very important in that season when Lille won the Ligue 1 title. Personally, for me, I believe Dominic Solanke is the most likely because Tottenham are lacking homegrown players. We're also heavily linked to Conor Gallagher. Now, Alistair Gold come out 37 minutes ago and come out and said Jonathan David and Victor Gyökeres are also striking options of interest to the club. Now, Victor Gyökeres, we know, has an £84 million release clause. Tottenham moved into a big stadium to compete with the biggest football clubs. We've been in Champions League finals. We've been in the Champions League regularly. This is the sort of signing, a Victor Gyökeres, that takes Tottenham from being where we are to being roughly where a Liverpool is, in my humble opinion. 58 goal contributions in 50 games last season. We've also got a bit of a Swedish connection with the likes of Bergvall and Dejan Kulusevski. he makes the most sense in terms of overall quality. He is an absolute goal machine. 43 goals in 50 games last season. And people are going to say, oh, but he hasn't played in the Premier League, or, and we need Premier League, proven players. He has played in England, has a very good record for Coventry, got them all the way to the playoffs, 116 games, 60 goal contributions. So that's more than one goal contribution every 2 games. His record in Sporting is generally frightening. He's played in the Europa League, which is what Tottenham are in right now. As you can see, 7 goal contributions in 9 games. The Bundesliga, 2-11 GA in 26. In the Premier League, he didn't play a minute for Brighton. Championship overall, his record is very, very good for a player that's, was relatively young then. When you go down to look at his Liga Portugal record, it's absolutely stupid. 29 goals, 9 assists. He, all the Arsenal fans, all the Liverpool fans, all the Man United fans who have seen this guy play know how good he is. Genuinely, he would take us back into the Champions League. I think with a signing like Victor Gyökeres, it improves. I think we're stronger than Aston Villa because we'd have Son and Victor Gyökeres, who are both practically guaranteed to get goal contributions. And when I look at what Tottenham want to do, Ange Postecoglou has come out on a number of occasions and said he wants to win titles. That is the sort of signing we need. Now, I think it's more likely that Tottenham sign Dominic Solanke because Bournemouth are open to a player plus cash deal, so we don't have to generate funds or trigger that £65 million release clause. Paul O'Keefe, who's a very reliable Tottenham journalist, has mentioned that Tottenham could offer 2 players plus cash. If it gets Ollie Skip off the wage bill, or it gets Sergio Reguilon off the wage bill, or another player, I don't think Dominic Solanke is the worst striker in the world. I think the Tottenham fan base, genuinely are a little bit at each other's throats right now. When you look at last season's top goal scorers, he looked very, very, very good. He was very high up there. I believe only Ollie Watkins, Cole Palmer, and Erling Haaland scored more goals than him last season in the Premier League. He played 42 games in all competitions, and Tottenham need homegrown players, which is why we're heavily linked to Conor Gallagher as well. If we bring in Conor Gallagher, Dominic Solanke, and Pedro Neto, I don't think that's the worst window in the world. When you add in the fact that Bergvall is going to be here, Archie Gray, a lot of these young talents. Romano come out and said that Tottenham are keeping a very close eye on Conor Gallagher and the Atletico Madrid situation. Tottenham have been a huge fan of his, and Postecoglou wants someone who's got pure energy in that midfield. Let me know your thoughts down below with regards to that. If Victor Gyökeres gets an opportunity to sign for Tottenham, I think personally he'd choose to sign for Arsenal because they're in a more attractive position at the moment. They're playing, Champions League football. They're trying to win Premier League titles. We are at the beginning of our journey under Ange Postecoglou, but I don't. If Tottenham put you got to put your name in the hat at the end of the day. If you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle. Now, if we want a striker, my number one option would be Victor Gyökeres, followed by Dominic Solanke, then Jonathan David. But if we do bring in Dominic Solanke and Pedro Neto, I don't think that is a bad window by any stretch of the imagination. I think he would be very, very, very... I think it'd be 2 good signings for us. He was responsible for around 40% of Bournemouth's goals last season. And without those goals, they probably go down, let's be honest. Pedro Neto on that right-hand side, we could have Dejan Kulusevski, Pedro Neto, and Brennan Johnson constantly rotating. On the left, obviously, Heung-min Son starts every single game of the week. And then through the middle, you can have Dominic Solanke and then back up to Richarlison. I think it puts us in a lot more stronger position. Then I think that Ollie Skip, Reguilon, and a few other players go. You bring in Conor Gallagher. It's Ange Postecoglou has come out and said that he doesn't want quick steps. He wants players that fit the mold and the style that he wants. So look, it's going to be a very interesting couple of days in the Tottenham fan base. Tottenham are understood to have Bournemouth's Dominic Solanke on a potential list of targets. Bournemouth are bracing themselves for the potential departure of Dominic Solanke this summer and have been looking at possible targets to replace him. Tottenham could potentially offer players in part exchange for Solanke if they want a move for him. A number of players are still looking for moves out of the club and others available on loan. You know, if there's 2 or 3 players that we could potentially get rid of and put one of those players towards this deal, I don't think it's the worst bit of business, you know. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. I am